Earlier today, Donald Trump's highly weaponized Department of Justice charged 15 Minnesotans with conspiracy to impede or injure federal officers in response to their community organizing work to defend themselves and their neighbors against the lawless, violent, unhinged ICE raids this past year. Please understand that this is all about chilling dissent. This is about scaring you into no longer organizing, no longer exercising your constitutional rights. This is all about scaring you shitless so that you will obey in advance. This is a classic sign that you live in an authoritarian country, by the way, when a justice system is weaponized to try to silence political opposition. This is not a new tactic from the regime because they are cargo cult fascists. They're real bad at doing a fascism, but boy, oh boy, do they sure try. We're going to talk about the Broadview 6 case before the end of this video, but let's get back to what happened in Minnesota earlier today. This morning, I got out of a doctor's appointment and opened up my phone, and it was just blowing up with texts and notifications that the Department of Injustice was coming for 15 people in Minnesota.
Huh. Another legal observer, probably, huh?
It is, yep.
Of course it is. 612-444-2654.
Is your dog okay?
Not my dog.
Not your dog. Okay.
What's your name?
My name's Isaac Sant.
Isaac Sant.
First name's I-S-A-A-C. Last name S-A-N-T.
I got you.
My lawyer is Kevin Rich. I very much like that you could call him.
We'll do it.
Rich is spelled R-I-C-H.
612-444-2654.
Tell him I've just been arrested. Cool.
Nazis.
Fucking pig.
Shame on you.
Nazis. Fucking Nazis. Get the fuck out of our neighborhood. Look at them. Fat pieces of shit. Get the fuck out of here. Lazy motherfuckers. Go!
Guns for a group of neighbors.
Look at them. Fucking idiots.
I'm going to be referencing a piece by Rachel Liangang that came out earlier today. She says that prosecutors allege the defendants were part of two Minneapolis-based Antifa groups that violently oppose immigration law enforcement. Just want to remind everybody, Antifa just means anti-fascist. There is no organization called Antifa. There is no secret group called Antifa. It just means anti-fascist. So if your government is trying to declare that anti-fascists are a threat to the government, what does that make your government? A fucking fascist government. This all ties back to Operation Metro Surge in Minnesota when ICE was violating folks' Fourth Amendment rights, busting in doors and snatching people out of their homes with no warrants. Americans were being gunned down in the streets by Border Patrol and ICE agents. By the way, none of them have been charged. As far as I know, actually only one person has been charged. That's 52-year-old Border Patrol agent Christian Castro, who lied under oath, claiming that immigrants attacked him with a broom and a snow shovel, and therefore he was justified in shooting them. He was apprehended in Texas, by the way. But the men who murdered Alex Preddy, nothing. The man who shot Renee Good, nothing. So the indictment mentions rapid response networks and signal chats. I want to remind you that if you are organizing in a signal chat, you should not presume that anything in there will be secure. Sure, it's encrypted, but who's in your group and who is letting other people in your group have access to their phones? The Department of Injustice is claiming that tracking where ICE is going is stalking. They're also claiming that activists were attempting to impede agents' abilities to do their jobs, to again commit violence against people, to violate their constitutional rights. Oh, hey, all you 2A folks, listen up to this part. The prosecutor, Rosen, showed social media posts and videos of a couple of the people indicted to underscore the allegations. That's not how that works, that they intended to impede law enforcement. In one video, a man declares that he is Antifa and discusses bringing guns to a demonstration. It is not illegal to bring firearms to a demonstration. That's literally your Second Amendment rights. Where are all y'all 2A folks being up in arms about this? or not, clearly not up in arms about this. All y'all Republican too, all y'all folks with your Oregonian on the back of your car, where are you at this direct assault on the Second Amendment? One defendant made a post saying people needed to become ungovernable. So that's not prosecutable, that's free speech. Basically, Rosen is saying, hey, we're going to prosecute you for thought crimes. We're going to prosecute your right to say shit like become ungovernable. Where is the crime there? There is no crime there. After pointing out over and over how folks charged today were claiming to be Antifa or were being called Antifa, the prosecutor declined to define what Antifa is, saying it went beyond the scope of today's indictment. But they use it as a slur. They use it as a boogeyman term. We all need to remind all of our Republican friends and family, Antifa just means anti-fascist. My grandpa, who fought in World War II, was an anti-fascist. So I understand why democracy-loving, freedom-loving, community-minded folks who want to protect their neighbors from the lawlessness and brutality of ICE are real freaked out over this news today. None of us want to go to prison, especially not when we're not breaking any laws. I'm not saying that this is not scary. It is meant to scare you. If you are frightened by this, that's a very normal reaction. But I want you to check in with yourself, remind yourself that feelings are not facts and that they want you to be terrified. They want you to be so scared that you hand over your rights and you hand over your neighbors and you quietly submit to authoritarianism in this country. That they are going to do fascist shit because they are fascists. They can only succeed if you surrender your rights. They are trying to scare you. So far, 18 of the 36 cases that the Department of Injustice has brought in regards to these protests have been dropped. 18 of the 36 cases have been dropped. And in one of those cases, a judge called the charging document a false affidavit. Don't forget that there have been multiple instances of folks being found not guilty. There are multiple instances of judges throwing out cases around the country. There are multiple instances of law enforcement, ICE, Border Patrol agents lying, the judges finding them and also the Department of Injustice's attorneys not credible. Not just in these 36 cases in Minnesota, it's happening all across the country. Look at what just happened with Kat Abighazaleh and the rest of the Broadview 6. I'm not an attorney. Go listen to Liz Oyer or Rachel Cohen break down exactly what happened with the Broadview 6. But after the judge released the grand jury transcripts, it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear that there was some prosecutorial misconduct. It's pretty clear that the DOJ attorneys got up to some real hinky shit. Hence the charges being dropped. Just because a weaponized Department of Justice brings charges, that doesn't mean that people have committed a crime. More often than not, for Donald Trump's DOJ, it means they've done nothing wrong. It means the Department of Justice is trying to scare all of the rest of us into giving up our rights. But just because you are charged, remember, a grand jury will indict a ham sandwich. When prosecutors engage in misconduct, they will indict like a speck of dust, right? So just because somebody's been charged, it doesn't mean that they're going to be convicted. I know what happened today is really scary, but we have to have courage in this moment. We have to defend our rights. I know that Tim Snyder was talking about being a rebel in your own time.
You think about the 250th, right? The people in 1776 were far from perfect. They were very flawed, and so are we. But they were rebels in their own time. And the only way for America to be better is for people to be rebels in their own time, right? Stealing a phrase from Frederick Douglass. You have to say, I'm involved in this. I'm a part of this. I'm a little bit of this flow, and I can make things different. And the thing is, it's catching. When you see other people do, when you find people who are better at it than you are, who are more courageous than you are, then it's catching. Then you do more and you're more effective. But also you feel better about yourself as a citizen, as an American, as somebody in the country.
When you live in a country that is lawless, in a country where the government is violating your rights, is betraying their constitutional duty, when you live in a country that is violent and authoritarian and the rule of law has been completely abandoned, deciding to exercise your constitutional rights and believing in adhering to the rule of law, that is being a rebel. That is bucking the corrupt, unhinged, lawless system that exists. So I understand that this news today was upsetting for a lot of people. It is very upsetting. The government is trying to ruin people's lives. because they are exercising their constitutional rights, because they are in opposition to a violent, lawless paramilitary terrorizing their neighborhoods. This government is trying to destroy people, regular, ordinary Americans. That's something we should all be really, really upset about. But do you understand that we have to courageously exercise our rights? Because what happens if we stop? They'll be able to do this to anybody, any day of the week. We need the restoration of the rule of law. We need our constitutional rights defended. And it's up to us to make sure that that happens. If we don't want lawlessness, corruption, and brutality in this country, then we, the people, have to flex our collective muscle. Then we, the people, must insist upon our rights. Because God knows Republicans are fully in on Donald Trump's violent, lawless plan. They're fully in on Donald Trump's authoritarian takeover. And so many Democrats are not prepared to do what it takes. The only reason we will get elected officials to do what is necessary is because they are more afraid of the people than they are of Donald Trump. The only reason we will get elected officials to do the right thing is because they have the political capital from the people to defend the Constitution. So do we understand the assignment? We're not here to do crimes. We are here to reestablish the rule of law. We are here to exercise our constitutional rights. The Department of Injustice is going to try and hurt people who want to obey the law and uphold the Constitution. Because Trumpism is authoritarianism. Republicans are an undemocratic party. They are a party of unfreedom. They are a party of violence, lawlessness, and corruption. They are not only enabling what Donald Trump is doing, they're not just like turning a blind eye, they are spending hundreds of billions of our taxpayer dollars to violate our rights. We don't know what will happen next in this case, but we cannot allow it to cause us to give up and comply in advance.